Pleased to be joined by Matt Anholt, assistant coach, assistant GM with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Matt, let's talk about the start of the season as we speak right now. We're getting close to the end of the preseason already. It seems like it's flown by, but just take me through what the last couple of weeks have been like with respect to getting players back into town and starting to ramp things up here as we get set for the start of another season.
Yeah, well, it's been exciting. We've obviously had a coaching change. Brent moved on to the pro ranks, and Bill has came in. So it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. Lots to catch up on for our players. Lots of little tweaks and changes here for our systems and our team. But it's been an exciting time, and we had a good camp, and preseason's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the coaching change was certainly drew headlines around the league, and with Brent moving on to the American League and Bill coming in, from an organizational perspective, how has the adjustment been with respect to getting a new voice in the room and behind the bench, and just kind of really just starting fresh here as we get set for the regular season.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the biggest thing, with our group right now is just that everybody's kind of on a clean slate. It doesn't matter how old you are, from 20 to 16, that everybody's on a clean slate with a new head coach. And if you had a really good summer, which a lot of these guys did, it's going to set them up for success because Bill's coming in seeing these guys for the first time, so he has no preconceived notions on where guys should be slotted in the lineup. And the nice part is with such a good groundwork that Brent set over his time here, that there's not a lot of changes to needed be in regards to habits and whatnot. It's just the odd system change and so forth.
Yeah, and I mean, really, when you look at it on the ice as well, it's a pretty strong returning cast you guys have in Lethbridge. I mean, a pretty balanced group, right? Forwards, defense, goaltending. Let's talk about the forwards a little bit. I mean, it seems like it was just yesterday we were talking about guys like Marquez and Warmold and Edwards kind of breaking into the league, but now they're your drivers offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're real excited about some of our young guys up front. We think, especially those three specifically, as well as Zimmer, who we got from Brandon last year in a trade, can really pop offensively for us this year, and give us an offensive driver that we've lacked in a few years recently. So we got some good young guys that we have been picked high in the draft over the last few years that we've needed, kind of had to develop and see come through our ranks through their U18 program first and now to us, and we just need those guys to really step up now with the ice time they're going to receive, and hopefully they can pop offensively.
How exciting was it for the organization to see Noah Chadwick selected in the NHL draft this summer?
Yeah, it was really really good to see. I mean, he's such a top-notch kid and comes from such a good family that everybody pulls for him and as much as we can. And I was actually fortunate enough to be with him when he found out that he got drafted. I was on the ice with him in Saskatoon, so that was a pretty special moment between me and him, to tell him that he got drafted. And he didn't want to seem too excited because he was on the ice with a lot of his peers, but yeah, it was a real special time between us. But yeah, I could be happier for him, and as well as everybody in the organization. We think the world of him as a person and a player.
Harrison Manigan kind of really broke out last year, right? Was kind of thrust into that number one role with Thompson's kind of injury and recovery during the first half of the season, and really kind of answered the bell. What are your guys' hopes for Harrison as he now goes to an NHL rookie camp this fall and kind of comes back to Lethbridge another year older, another year wiser, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. We have very high expectations for Harry this year. He was one of the surprises in the league last year, I think. Across the board, across all 22 teams, with how he really carried the load for us when Brian was recovering from hip surgery, and he had a little bit of a hiccup there with an injury himself in the second half. And if that didn't happen, he probably gets drafted himself, and we're talking about another draft pick for us. But it's just a little bit of a bump in the road for him. An injury cost him maybe a draft selection, but that's not a problem. He's going to be a big key to us, and he's still got another year to possibly get picked. And right now I think he might be the second or third best numbers coming back on the East, in the Eastern Conference, for starting goalies. So we have really high expectations for Harry to be that wall back there for us.
My last one for you is about your captain, Joe Arntzen. A guy who comes in as a 20-year-old this year and has been really a staple on that Lethbridge blue line, right? A gritty player, a kind of sandpaper kind of guy. And just having gotten a chance to chat with him earlier this week, really comes off as mature and a real kind of leader. I just want to get your thoughts on just Joe the player, Joe the person, and how he is going to help run the ship this year.
Yeah, well, the nice part with Big Joe is that he's a 3-year captain now for us. Obviously, he split with Jet Jones the last 2 years, but this is his team, this is his group. He's the definition of a Hurricane. He was drafted here pretty high, and he's been a 5-year guy now this year. And our biggest goal for him is just to help him move on to the pro ranks and establish his game, so then he can be a professional hockey player after this year, because he definitely has the package and the tools to do that. The best thing about Joe is that he is salt to the earth, and that all he cares about is the team and the young guys below him and helping them out. And Tristan Doyle and him sit beside each other in the dressing room, and he helps Tristan out as best as he can, because he was once that guy. And we can't say enough good things about Arnie as a person and as a leader.